Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Veronica. Thank you so much for clicking the link to watch today's video. Without further ado, let's hurry up and get started. A lot of you guys really liked the video that I put out about promoting, and I got a lot of DMs about promoting and how the officer ranks work. So I'm going to go in depth a little bit more on the ranks and explain the different tier levels and what's expected of you. That's not going to talk about promotion. If you want to learn about promotion, go back to the other video. If you want to dive in depth about officer ranks, we're going to talk right now. So the lowest ranking officer is a second lieutenant, also known as a butter bar. Most of you, if you're joining the Air Force, I can only speak of the Air Force. I don't know about any other Corps, Army, Navy, Coast Guard, Marine, Space Force. I think Space Force follows kind of the guidance of Air Force, but I'm not sure. Sorry. So if you're going to be joining the Air Force and you have your bachelor's degree, that's the basic level that you can get in as an officer, a bachelor's. If you have your master's, it depends on what you have your master's in and if it's from an accredited institution. To find out if it's an accredited institution, it doesn't go by necessarily the Department of Education list. I think that's the list. It goes by what the military has approved as an accreditation. So when you're working your package with your recruiter, you'll say either you have your bachelor's or you have your master's. If your master's is from an accredited institution, you will more than likely come in as a first lieutenant instead of a second lieutenant, and then you'll start the process of automatic 2 years if you're a first lieutenant to captain, and then start there. If you don't and you have your bachelor's like me, you can also get what's called constructive work credit. I don't know if they necessarily do that anymore. It used to be so hard. I definitely feel like I should have got constructive work credit because I was working as like a junior CEO. But I think for whatever reason, the person didn't approve it because I had to be in that role for a long time. I think I had to be an actual hospital administrator to serve or to get approved for that. So if you get constructive credit, that means you get like an accelerated potential date. So maybe your original date of rank was August 1st, 2020, but they give you constructive credit of a year. So technically you already are a year in as a second lieutenant, if that makes sense. I do think that they also sometimes will give constructive credit for if you have your master's and you're coming in as a first lieutenant. Like let's say you're very seasoned, you've been doing this job for years, they might give you both. But again, I'm not sure. Always check with your recruiter. The MSc career field is very, very specific. So definitely check with your recruiter. If they don't know, they can always contact the MSc team, and they should know who that is to ask these questions. As far as other career fields, again, I'm not sure. Like if you're trying to join as an engineer or other things, I am not sure. Again, check with your recruiter. So after you are a second lieutenant, a first lieutenant, and a captain, those three ranks are called company grade officers, or also known as CGOs. CGO is like your best time. It's almost like you're a freshman. Well, you're a freshman, sophomore, and junior in high school, and you're like, man, this is the life. Freshman year, you're kind of awkward as a second lieutenant and first lieutenant, right? You don't really know what you're supposed to be doing. You're kind of, getting in there. Then you hit captain and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm a junior. I got more swag to me. I know what I'm doing. I'm more confident in my job. And you spend 4 years as a junior and then you get promoted to senior. The reason why I say senior is not a captain because to me, senior is like now you're into the next ranking structure, which is called field grade officers. That's your major, lieutenant colonel, and colonel. After you make those three ranks and you're considered an FGO, this is like, you're in the big leagues, okay? Which is, you have a general, which is the highest ranking you can be in the military. So you have brigadier general, which is a 1-star, major general, which is a 2-star, and then lieutenant general, which is a 3-star, and then general, which is a 4-star. If you're a general, if you have a star, you're a general, but a general is like a 4-star with all the stars. I will never know what that's like. I will never know what that's like. God bless all the generals who've been in for 30 years. I will not know what that's like. But anyways, so from CGO to FGO to general, most people retire as a lieutenant colonel after 20 years. There is a new retirement program that everyone is under unless you are grandfathered in. Like my peer group was one of the last ones to get the automatic retirement without putting anything in if you stay in for 20 years. If you don't, you don't really have anything unless you opted into the new blended retirement system program, which is where it's like a normal 401k where they pay into your retirement. So you could separate and you'll still have something. So anyways, CGO, FGO, general. I would like to say so far the CGO years are the most fun. That's where you meet your friends. The CGOC, which is the Company Grade Officer Council, every single base has one. If you get to your base, you need to interact with the CGOC, especially if you're single or maybe you're married, you have no kids, or even if you have kids, just networking. At my first base, I was involved in everything because I had nothing else to do. I had no kids. Lewis and I were not even together when I first got there. And even when we were married, it helped us meet people because it was such a small base. So that's now being at a small base, a medium base, and a large base. That's the difference. Smaller bases, you have a community where you can hang out with the CGOs. You can like literally become best friends. I'm still really close to all of my Montana CGOs. Like, it is crazy how close we have been able to maintain that friendship. And then when you get to medium facility, you see a little bit of community. And then when you get to a large facility like the one I'm at now, you're just ready to go home. There's just too much traffic. There's too much going on. You're not really worried about what you need to do as far as like other different things. So creating that communal environment is a little bit hard, I will say, at larger bases. So even though smaller bases kind of stuck sometimes and they're not in the best areas with the best cities, they have its charm. They have people that you will literally be friends with through your entire career. So I hope that helps explain the rank structure a little bit more. I will say again, you'll automatically promote, and then after CGO years, you'll have a board, a PRF, and all those things that I talked about in my officer promotion video, and that will keep happening. For lieutenant colonel and colonel, you do have to have professional education, PME, and you have to have certain certifications for MSCs, or you get separated, forced out. So it's very much an open book test. It's kind of like it is a check the box thing. They want to see if you're going to take the effort to invest in yourself, since the military has invested in you. A lot of people feel like it's just a political thing, and I'm going to be honest, it definitely is. Again, this is Veronica's opinion, not the DoD's opinion. It definitely is. There's some things in the military, especially being an officer, where it's political. As much as you want to get away from it, as much as I want to get away from it, sometimes things are just political. The higher in rank structure you go, you will be exposed more to that. So I'm learning now, instead of shying away from it, just to accept it and to take part in it as much as I feel like I want to take part in it, if that makes sense. But I'm not an expert because I've been a CGO for all of my 8 years. I've loved it. I'm a little nervous to become an FGO. Same thing, blooming where I'm planted, but it is a little bit of a different game, a different strategy, and I also put a lot of pressure on myself. No one has put pressure on me or said anything negatively or constructively where I'm like, dang, I gotta do better. This is all Veronica just in my head trying to be better every single day and everything as usual, doing the most. So I hope this video wasn't all over the place, and I hope this kind of exposed and showed you a little bit more of the rank structure. Essentially, you won't have to worry about promotion for your CGO years as long as you don't do anything bad. And then your FGO years, it all depends on your CGO record. And then as you rank up, it depends on your FGO rank record. And then after that, if you're trying for a star, I definitely don't have advice for you, and I'm not the target audience for you. But good luck. Anyways, I hope that was helpful. Hopefully I didn't ramble. I'm so sorry if I did. Have a great day. See you guys in my next video. Bye.